listening and talking about news, reviewing the content from three sources with the AI. We can use news and songs to improve the pronunciation or listening and speaking. Focusing on listening and speaking is very important. While doing online language exchange with your language partners, and then we can talk about many topics, focusing on listening and speaking to improve pronunciation. This is very important. Now, today I talk about news. News. Uh, when we know about some vocabulary, after building vocabulary, we can understand about contents. So for example, news. News is very, very important. And then the living in the world or in country. For example, when we learn English, there are so many news um, from all the world. And then there are many countries, English is spoken and there, and so we can find many broadcasting company, especially about news. And also, even though in Korea we have Ariran TV and Arab and Al Jazeera, this kind of the news and all news in English are available. Then news in English is not difficult to find everywhere. So and then, so what news will you choose to listen? And you talk about the news. Talking about the news is very, very important. At the same time, and you can write down with your voice when you talk about the news. By doing that, you make one source to build new content. It's very important source, even though it's difficult to talk about the news. But if you understand about 30% or 40%, it's okay. Because with the help of AI, and you can make good content. Then I also doing in my target language Vietnamese, and then so I listen to the Vietnamese news, and then after listening, reading subtitle, I try to understand about 30% about. Then and I can try to talk about the news. It's very difficult. The pronunciation is not good. I don't remember some words to talk about the news, so I should repeat some easy words, and then I thinking about the news, and then I should speak slowly because I'm not familiar with it. I'm not good at. Uh, uh, I should speak slowly, and then I should speak slowly. I should speak slowly, and then it takes a long time to talk about the news. This is my weakness. But even though by speaking again and again with the news, and then I get familiar with it, I try to be good at speaking, talking about news. Then, how can I get new contents from three sources? One source is the voice writing, and then I can use the contents from uh, what I talk about it. And at the same time, I'm writing now. And then also with a title, I can get some source and then with the title of news. After then, and I can use the subtitle with the grapher extension of the Google. And then I can get a three source. I can combine all three sources together, and then I make content about the news with some topic, and then successfully the AI can produce new contents. Then I can talk with it. I use the content after talking about the news. And then this process is simple. Listening to the news, talking about the news, and then reviewing feedback, reviewing the content of the news. It's simply, and then I try to make it enhance. I can understand about much more. 30% first time after reading the reviewing, and then I can understand about 50, more than 50%. If I can reach the more than 50% at the first time, listening and talking, I can communicate with my language partner or friends and about the news. So, and then news is repeated sometimes, and it will be important for the country or for people. So quite relates to the people. Then in the future, um, in the future, I can use the content of the news to communicate with the local people about some topics, and then with my view, something information, and then users deal with lots of topics like economic and then weather, history, culture, relation with the other country or development and something new, even the human society about accident or planning and special days or some of them. Very, very important part in our real life and to understand each other. The news is very, very important. Okay, today I talk about the news, how I use the news to improve pronunciation or languages. Not many pages, about 2 pages. I can make content with this. And then in English, my content of how to use the news in listening and talking about it, but then reviewing new contents from AI with the three sources. That source is one is uh, what I read and then from the AI after proofreading it. And I can add this three contents and just what I talk and then AI made a new content about how I use it to improve my listening, speaking, and content creation with AI. So AI get the feedback about the content, what I mentioned, and then it's well categorized with a small title, and also it grammatically it's very good, and it quite be the source to learn for language, and then add it, try to read it. Thanks for sharing your reflection based on your original message. I've rewritten, organized into clear, fluent English while keeping your key ideas and learning process intact. Here's a polished version. How I use news to improve my listening, speaking, and creation with AI. My news is important for language learning. Listening to and talking about news, one of the best ways to do vocabulary, improve pronunciation, and stay informed about the world. News content is rich with a real life situation from language and a variety of topics like economy, weather, culture, politics, and international relations, in human trust stories and daily events. News teaches us not only the language but also how society works. My learning process is from listening to creating. Step one, listen to the news. I start by listening to the news in my target language, Korean, Vietnamese, or English. Even if I only understand 30% at first, that's okay. The goal is to get used to the sound, reading, key vocabulary. Step two, use subtitle and AI support. I use subtitle to help understand the parts I need. I also use AI like ChatGPT to review or explain the content. This is one of the three sources I combine, the original news, audio, and video, subtitle or transcription, AI explanation or summaries. Step three, speak about the news. After understanding more of the content, I try to talk about it out loud. Even if my pronunciation isn't perfect, I focus on using simple words, speaking slowly, and getting comfortable with expressing my thoughts. I sometimes record myself or talk with the language partner in online language change. Step four, create and write new content. Once I talk about the news, I write down what I said and clean it up with the help of AI from AI. This helps me create new content like a blog post or running note or summaries. Why this method works for me? I repeat the process to improve step by step. First, understanding 30%, then 50% eventually communicate clearly. It helps me practice all four skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. I can communicate more confidently with friends or language partners. I learn not just the language, but also important global issues. With the tip, don't worry if you don't understand everything at once. Choose topic you like, music, culture, technology, etc. Practice daily in small steps. Use Twitter, YouTube, subtype, Google Translate, ChatGPT. Give your own notes and summaries. Use the fullest fast. Would you like me to turn this into a PDF guide for sharing and YouTube video script? Infograph showing the step-by-step method. Let me know how you like to use this next. Okay. I got a content and then I reviewed it with the help of AI.